Hey guys, Dov here with some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. We're going to be going once again with the High Elves, and there was a particularly strong combination of something I wanted to try out. So here we are versus the Warriors of Chaos. I'm up against Wyvern, great YouTuber. Has some pretty interesting videos about kind of like Warhammer units and how they relate to historical counterparts. But anyway, got Teclis here with a Star Dragon, a couple of Rangers, and 3 Spearmen with a Sylvan Guard protecting the Talons of Torquelada, the new Archers Regiment of Renown, and some Sisters of Aberlorn. So immediately, you'll probably see the synergy that we're going for. Teclis obviously has Kindle Flame with Nets, Enfeebling Foe, and Regrowth. We can then use the Talons of Torquelada to further weaken against fire. Sisters of Aberlorn and the Star Dragon obviously both doing fire damage. Teclis himself also does fire damage on his parrot. I can only assume this thing is like a macaw or something because it's just so colorful. But anyway, for the Warriors of Chaos here, we've got plenty of Marauder Horsemen, a couple of Chaos Knights with lances looking for that high charge. Definitely can be good against the High Elves. We've got Summoners of Rage here, some Poison Warhounds, a Sorcerer Lord of Shadows on horseback, some Chosen, and yeah, again, the Marauders up front. Speaking of which, Marauders are going to go ahead and engage here. Been kind of maneuvering around. We're going to get the Rangers in the fight, and the Talons and the Sisters just taking some shots at these Marauders here, but we're going to go ahead and unleash the combo so you can see the nets now. If we go ahead and have a look, because of the Kindle Flame, it should be, yes, if I can get it. I didn't quite get it in time. Yeah, it looks like the Kindle Flame already wore off, but you can see just from the Talons there that fire weakness. It hasn't honestly done too much damage quite yet, but here, Fiery Convocation going to go right down the line, just do a ton of damage to these Marauders, also hit some of my Spearmen as well, which is not the best, but hey, we're able to get a quick terror out in the front line. Some Rangers very cost-effectively following up, Teclis diving and weaving, but the mobile force for the Warriors of Chaos has kind of compromised this flank here. You can see the Marauder Horsemen getting back, throwing some javelins and so on, trying to keep this pocket disrupted as much as possible. Teclis and the Star Dragon responding. We're going to go ahead and throw an Enfeebling Foe on that Chaos Sorcerer. He can get sniped very, very quickly here, so he's going to respond with an Enfeebling Foe of his own on Teclis, and I do need to try and protect these archers in my backline as long as I can, so we're going to go ahead and lift up in the sky here. You can see the Summoners of Rage now going after these Rangers who had over-pursued a little bit, and definitely having a hard time keeping all of these archer units safe. The Sylvan Guard are doing their best to kind of help defend here, but it is quite chaotic, pun intended, and a nice smell cost mystifying miasma as well on the Talons. I mean, they have decent enough combat stats, 30 and 36 actually, not too bad for a skirmish unit, but obviously not going to stand up against the might of Chaos Knights, certainly. That being said, we can still do this, net and shoot with the Sisters, and again, that extra weakness to fire there, up to like 40% weakness to fire, and while the, unfortunately, the Kindle Flame has worn off, we can just VTOL a breath directly down. And that will shatter the Chaos Lord, just like that. He's gone. 33 health left. Unfortunately, didn't quite finish him off, so we won't get the leader actually die debuff on the enemy units that remain here. But still, we can continue fighting with the Sylvan Guard. Balance power slightly in my favor at this point, but I definitely still have to worry about these Chaos Knights and other units here. We're going to come drop a quick terror out, let these Rangers clean up those Marauders once again, and just kind of hang around here, watch for good targets. These Summoners of Rage are also potentially going to be a big danger as well, but yeah, you can see the Sisters of Aberlorn still fighting. Unfortunately, the Talons are pretty much gone, so no more extra flammability, but still, I mean, we've still got a Star Dragon plus Teclis, and still haven't had to use many regrowths this time around. I'm going to go ahead and throw another Fiery Convocation here. It doesn't do that much armor-piercing damage, so it's not going to do a whole lot to these Chaos Knights here, but just trying to clear out a lot of these units that are left. Diving straight onto those Chaos Knights, we were able to do quite a bit of damage there, and just immediately terrify them both away. Enfeebling Foe on one of them that was fighting the Star Dragon there, and just that combination of Enfeebling Foe with Kindle Flame, it was already very strong for Teclis before, and, I mean, now it's also very strong. It is extremely expensive. I mean, just Teclis and the Star Dragon alone are about half of your army here. There are about 6,000 points between the two of them, so you would definitely hope that they could get their values worth. And in this instance, they were able to. I do think this is a build that would work relatively well here against the Tomb Kings, certainly. I mean, their lords are already baseline weak to fire, right? So you can get up to like 60% fire weakness and just absolutely step on their heads. Norska could potentially work okay, although Norska's better against monsters, so something like this could be a little bit riskier there. But you can see the Star Dragon chasing off those knights. We've got Teclis chasing off the Marauder Horse Masters. Oh, those are actual Horse Masters, huh? Interesting. Chasing them off. Got some Rangers still fighting here. The Chaos Knights with Lances don't have the best sustained combat stats in the world. Certainly not as good as the Power Swords. So the Rangers can actually trade okay, even though this is not a unit that they are meant to fight whatsoever. They'll do alright. They dropped a knight there. Good stuff. Screaming in terror. Gotta love it. As they do actually rout there. You can see the Summoners of Rage coming back over. The Silver Guard are very healthy. Actually, out of all my units, besides the 2 flying monsters, the Silver Guard are probably the healthiest. They were just wet noodling against Chosen here for a while. Chosen would eventually win that fight, but it would take them quite a while. They're both very good defensive units. But here, another net. Pop that Kindle Flame. They throw down the Chain Lightning in response. Here comes the Star Dragon. Cycling in as Teclis cycles out. Oop, and a big old nom right to the face. Surrounded by Rangers. The Chosen are still fighting, but they're very soon going to face the Star Dragon and Teclis as well. And I think that's probably army losses. Yep. Very, very fun game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Yeah, it's a combo that I was hesitant to show because some people might consider this pretty egregious Lord sniping, but considering the High Elves' kind of perceived weakness to monsters, I really don't think that this is... I mean, this is probably something that other people would have tried anyway, so, you know, might as well be me that brings it to you, right? 74 kills on Teclis, 55 for the Star Dragon, 88 for these Rangers. Again, they got in against some Marauders, and with the Terror route especially, we're able to get some really good work done. The Reavers got literally 0 and 9 kills, so they were mostly sacrificed to help hold back the tide of Chaos Cavalry, and you can see the Chaos Knights did get some impressive kill totals, even considering my small model count here. 109 and 89 kills, only 45 for the Summoners of Rage, but obviously the Star Dragon and Teclis being so healthy in the late game is a lot. There wasn't that much anti-large AP in this build, and Wyvern and I were talking in chat about it. He was saying that this build could potentially be weak to some other certain Chaos builds, so I just quickly wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, we have this other test here. For those of you guys who are curious, this is without the Sisters of Averlorn. This is just with the Talons and with the Star Dragon and Teclis. We wanted to see how much damage we could do to Kolek with this combo, with the breath attack being, you know, extra flammable. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick on a test, and then I want to talk about kind of some theory crafting at the end. But yeah, Teclis pulls up here. The Star Dragon also pulls up. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and get the flammable effect. Kindle Flame also goes down, so if we have a look here, that breath attack comes down, does about, what, more than a third of his HP in damage, close to half, 44% fire weakness there. And keep in mind that we could immediately just drop down, right, with both Teclis and the Star Dragon, but another enfeebling foe to put that Kindle Flame back up, and look at this. Just like that, Kolek's gone. So even a more quote-unquote meta build with like Kolek, double Shaggoth, or even like Big Bird with double Shaggoth, we can kind of talk about it here a little bit, but yeah, I mean the combination with Teclis and the Star Dragon certainly very strong. As I mentioned, those two units by themselves are going to be like half the army, and once you factor in the talents of Tor Kaleda, it is a very expensive combination to try and pull off, right? So you may want to kind of consider which spells you're taking. You definitely don't need Flaming Sword of Ruin, but Enfeebling Foe, Block of Doom, and, Enfeebling Foe, Nets, and Regrowth is the ones you really want. Sword of Teclis also gives you more Winds of Magic now, so definitely want to grab that. Puts them up to 1 point shy of 3,500 points there, so that's a lot. Star Dragon, 2,400, right? And, yeah. We will bring in the Talons as well, and then you kind of build around this. You can do some different things. Bringing something like the Fireborn, it's going to be pretty cost prohibitive because they're already so expensive. And the build I was playing to there is relatively narrow. I mean, that's true of a lot of high elf builds, but something like this especially, definitely Definitely will have to play to the Star Dragon and Teclis. We had 3 games kind of with me practicing with this build, myself and Wyvern, and that was the closest one. I lost one pretty badly because I misused my Winds of Magic and tried to net and shoot the Chosen, which is not a good idea. Chosen have very good missile block chance. Yeah, so speaking of which, talk about some kind of counter chaos builds. I had mentioned that sort of a meta in this matchup can be Big Bird. You take probably Searing Doom, Plague of Rust, and Final Transmutation. And then also run Double Shaggoth. 3 big monsters, big mobile monsters, and then you just run a boatload of chaff to go with them. Lots and lots of Marauder Javs, some Marauder Infantry. We'll get some Hounds as well. Something like this. It's pretty haggard, but it definitely can work okay. You just play very, very mobile and try and, you know, play off the strength of your mobility and kind of hit and run with the Shaggoths, keep the monsters within positions to support each other in case anything dies. But even like this, I think you could probably try and isolate the different targets with Teclis and Star Dragon and burn them down. Big Bird would probably be the biggest problem. But at the same time, he's pretty squishy in melee, so with the nets, you could definitely get some work done there. If you wanted to try and prevent this from happening, Sigvald, I believe, I don't know actually if he'd be able to resist the initial breath with if he got the flammable effect on him, but he is a much smaller target, so he's hard to hit, and you can kind of take him with more of a shielded infantry-centric composition, and that will be quite strong. The Power Sword Chaos Knights, I think, are pretty good here. Hell Cannon actually can be good in this matchup, although the Star Dragon Breath will probably just delete that in one shot as well. We can do this. I do like Lore of Metal here quite a bit, so I'll probably take a Lore of Metal caster. And, yeah, Evasion, Metal Shifting, same thing. Plague of Rust. Searing Doom, great to use against enemy cavalry if you need to. Although, yeah, we may not necessarily need to in this build. And then go a little bit wider here. Summoners of Rage are also pretty good in this matchup, so I might consider trying to take them instead of maybe, like, trade out one of these Power Sword Chaos Knights for the Summoners. They are quite expensive, but yeah, it gives you something. This build also has no terror, so that's a little bit weak. We could come in here and grab, like, a couple Manticores, maybe. I mean, they're going to be very vulnerable up in the air, but you'll have to kind of pick and choose your engagements. Of course, you could also grab a Shaggoth. You have enough points. Those big monsters, man, going to be pretty vulnerable to that fire gooning. And yeah, again, this is probably going to be good against Tomb Kings. I don't know about Beastmen, Norska perhaps as well, I'm not sure. But certainly Tomb Kings and Chaos, I could see this being very good against Lizardmen potentially as well. Taking down those big dinos with this combination could potentially be quite strong. Kind of need to play around with it and see, but it definitely seems pretty promising. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.